Be careful driving through Easton, Connecticut after dark, especially if you're passing Union Cemetery, because what locals and paranormal investigators have witnessed there for over 2 centuries isn't your typical ghost story. There's something different about the Lady in White. She's not just a fleeting shadow or a whispered legend. She's been photographed, recorded, even encountered by skeptical police officers who never believed in the supernatural, until they saw her with their own eyes. And unlike other spectral residents who seem trapped in their final moments of terror or grief, this entity appears watchful, almost protective, as if she chose to stay. But who was she in life? And what keeps her tethered to these ancient grounds, floating between centuries-old headstones night after night? I'm Host Name, and this is Show Name. Today we're diving into one of America's most documented paranormal cases, a haunting so compelling that it caught the attention of famous demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. As twilight descends over the ancient headstones of Union Cemetery in Easton, Connecticut, the atmosphere shifts from somber to something more unsettling. The centuries-old burial ground, with its weathered markers and crooked trees, holds secrets that have fascinated paranormal investigators and terrified locals for generations. But among all the reported supernatural phenomena in this historic cemetery, one figure stands out: the mysterious Lady in White, whose ethereal presence has become synonymous with one of America's most haunted locations. Union Cemetery, established in the 1700s, sits at the intersection of Sport Hill Road and Stepney Road in Easton, Connecticut. The cemetery's history stretches back to the earliest days of American colonization, serving as the final resting place for countless souls, including Revolutionary War veterans and prominent local families. The graveyard's age and the weight of its history have contributed to its reputation as a paranormal hotspot. But it wasn't until the mid-20th century that reports of the Lady in White began to capture public imagination. The cemetery gained national attention when Ed and Lorraine Warren, famous paranormal investigators known for their work on the Amityville horror case, began investigating the site in the 1940s. They claim to have captured photographic evidence of the Lady in White, propelling the legend into paranormal folklore. The most commonly reported sightings of the Lady in White describe her as a young woman, perhaps in her early 20s, dressed in an old-fashioned white gown that seems to glow with an otherworldly luminescence. Unlike many cemetery apparitions that appear menacing or distressed, witnesses describe her as having a peaceful, almost serene presence. According to local legend, the Lady in White has been seen floating between the headstones, sometimes appearing solid enough to be mistaken for a living person, only to vanish when approached. Her appearances often begin near the cemetery's oldest section, where she emerges from behind a particular weathered tombstone before gliding across the grounds. One of the most compelling accounts comes from a local police officer who encountered the apparition during a routine patrol in 1993. Officer Peter Maxwell, name changed for privacy, was driving past the cemetery around 2:30 a.m. when his headlights illuminated what appeared to be a woman in white standing between 2 headstones. Concerned that someone might be vandalizing the cemetery, he stopped his patrol car and called out to the figure. As he approached, the woman turned to face him, and that's when he realized he could see straight through her to the tombstones behind. Maxwell's report describes how the figure seemed to hover several inches above the ground, before slowly fading away like mist in morning sunlight. The officer, a veteran of the force with no previous belief in the supernatural, was so shaken by the encounter that he requested a transfer to day shift duties. Another significant encounter occurred in 1990 when amateur paranormal investigator Sarah Collins set up camera equipment near the reported haunting hotspot. During her overnight vigil, she not only witnessed the Lady in White, but also captured what many consider to be one of the most convincing pieces of spectral evidence ever recorded. The photographs show a luminous figure in white moving between the headstones, with no visible signs of photographic manipulation. The identity of the lady in white remains a subject of intense speculation. Some researchers believe she may be the spirit of a young woman named Mary Hawley, who died under mysterious circumstances in the early 1800s. Others connect her to a tragic accident on nearby Sport Hill Road in the 1940s, where a young bride-to-be was killed while wearing her wedding dress. Local historian Richard Bennett has spent decades researching the cemetery's records and local history, trying to match the apparition to historical records. His research uncovered several potential candidates, including Emma Sterling, a young woman who died of consumption in 1876, and Catherine Payne, who passed away under mysterious circumstances in 1834. The most intriguing theory suggests that the lady in white might not be tied to any single person, but rather serves as a guardian spirit for the cemetery. This theory is supported by numerous accounts describing how the apparition seems to watch over the grounds, appearing most frequently when vandals or troublemakers enter the cemetery after dark. Ed and Lorraine Warren's investigation in the 1940s produced some of the most compelling evidence of the Lady in White's existence. During their numerous overnight investigations, they reported multiple encounters with the spirit and claimed to have recorded her voice on early electronic voice phenomenon, or EVP equipment. The recordings, while controversial, reportedly captured a soft female voice saying, "I'm watching, and this is my home." Modern paranormal investigators continue to be drawn to Union Cemetery, equipped with sophisticated ghost hunting technology. Many report unusual electromagnetic readings, temperature fluctuations, and battery drainage in the vicinity where the lady in white is most often seen. Some have captured orbs of light on their cameras, while others have recorded unexplained white mists forming and dissipating near certain headstones. The legend has had a significant impact on the local community. The cemetery has become a popular destination for paranormal tourism, leading to increased security measures to protect both the historic grounds and potential visitors. Local authorities have had to balance the site's historical significance and the public's fascination with its supernatural reputation with the need to preserve the dignity of those laid to rest there. Residents living near the cemetery have their own stories to tell. Martha Whitman, whose family has lived across from Union Cemetery for 3 generations, keeps a journal of unusual occurrences. She describes seeing the lady in white on multiple occasions, particularly during full moons or on unusually foggy nights. According to Whitman, the apparition seems most active during the transitional seasons of spring and fall. One of the most recent documented sightings occurred in 2019, when a group of paranormal researchers conducted an overnight investigation using thermal imaging equipment. Their footage appears to show a cold spot in the shape of a human figure moving through the cemetery, maintaining a consistent temperature significantly lower than the surrounding environment. The lady in white has also been connected to various unexplained phenomena within the cemetery. Visitors report hearing soft weeping or singing, particularly near sunset. Others describe experiencing sudden cold spots, even on warm summer nights, and feeling an unseen presence watching them. Some claim their electronic devices malfunction inexplicably while in the cemetery, only to work perfectly once they leave the grounds. Skeptics have proposed various explanations for the lady in white sightings. Some suggest that the cemetery's location near 2 roads creates light patterns that could be misinterpreted as ghostly figures. Others point to the power of suggestion and the human tendency to seek patterns in random phenomena. However, these explanations fail to account for the consistency of the descriptions across decades of sightings and the physical evidence collected by investigators. The story of the Lady in White has become deeply embedded in Connecticut's folklore, inspiring numerous books, articles, and paranormal television shows. The legend continues to evolve as new sightings are reported and new theories about her identity and purpose emerge. The Lady in White of Union Cemetery remains one of America's most enduring and well-documented ghostly legends. Whether she represents the restless spirit of a specific individual, a protective guardian of the cemetery, or something else entirely, her presence has left an indelible mark on paranormal history. As technology advances and new methods of investigation become available, perhaps we'll finally uncover the truth behind this mysterious figure. But until then, the question remains. What draws this spectral woman to Union Cemetery? And why does she continue to appear after all these years? The next time you find yourself driving past Union Cemetery as darkness falls, you might want to slow down and glance between the headstones. You never know. You might catch a glimpse of a glowing white figure floating through the grounds, adding your own chapter to this fascinating legend. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most compelling ghost stories, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating tales of the supernatural. Share your own ghost stories or theories about the Lady in White in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest uploads, exploring lesser-known urban legends and paranormal phenomena. Until next time, keep watching the shadows. You never know what might be watching back.